Good and welcome once again to another video on this channel. Today we'll be talking strictly on the Nostra AI Diamond. I encourage you to watch this video to the end to get the full overview of what Nostra AI Diamond is all about. And I can assure you, this could very well be the only one video you will need this year to turn your finance around. Before we go forward, I'd like to just, have a little bit of disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I say on this video is solely for educational purpose and should not be taken as financial advice. Do well to pause this video and go through this disclaimer. Okay, so today we'll talk about Nostra AI. What is Nostra AI? Nostra AI is actually a cutting-edge expert advisor that is designed to automate your forex trading. And it has just two goals: to focus on what risk management and what profitability. In other words, Nostra AI's goal is just to make what profit for us in the forex market. So what are the key features of Nostra AI? First of all, like I said, risk management. Unlike many AI out there, Nostra AI goes into every trade, with a fixed stop loss and a take profit before entering the trade. It doesn't just enter trade and then risk the whole of the capital. No. At every point in time, there is a fixed amount of money it is willing to lose to the markets. And there's also a fixed amount of money it is willing to gain from the market. And it does not use risky trading strategy like what most expert advisors out there uses, which is like the martingale or the grid system. No, it doesn't use any of those risky trading strategy. And also, Nostra AI is data driven. Yes, that is all the decision the bot takes is 100% from data it collects from the market 3x stats. So it doesn't trade both as any emotion. Yeah, there's no emotion at all attached to it. It makes all the decision solely on data. And as a result of this tool, it's able to adapt to various market conditions, be it ranging even on days of public holidays, where banks are not open. That's why I see trade and makes profits for us while what? Minimizing the risk. So risk to reward, like I said, is part of what is embedded into Nostra AI. Yes. So risk to reward is a ratio of potential loss to what potential profit on a trade. Yeah, so basically it's how much you are willing to lose versus how much you are willing to win. So this is actually what part of what Nostra AI also focused on. And then the win rates, which is also very, very important. Yes, Nostra AI Diamond in particular is the one that has a higher win rate so far of all Nostra AI bots. Yes, and as a matter of fact, there's even the win rate that sets Nostra AI Diamond apart. The risk to reward, it's somewhat negative, but the win rate is over up to 80-90% per month. Yes, up to 80-90% win rate. Win rate, not profit it makes. So that is what sets the Nostra AI Diamond apart. So basically is a percentage of the trade you lose to the trade you win. Yes, so that is what win rate is all about. And then when you have a system that has good win rates and then a good risk management, I can assure you long-term success is what is assured. And that is what Nostra AI actually provides for us. So today, like we said, we're looking at the Nostra AI Diamond. Yes, the Nostra AI Diamond is a very powerful system. It's one you can never afford to miss out on. I'll show you the result of what it has done in the past quarter shortly. So you will know that we're not just speaking from thin air. Yes, it's actually based on the result we've seen this EA able to achieve for us. And the minimum capital to trade in Nostra Diamond for now, it's $100. And then it has the potential of, monthly profit up to 70%. Yes, you heard me that right, up to 70%, not give it there. It has the potential to give that. Some months for, 40, 50, 60, 70, up to, 70%. Of course, some months can be lesser as well, based on the market condition, because we don't control the markets. The bot only reacts based on whatever the market actually does what presents itself. And then the second advantage of using Nostra AI Diamond is the fund is 100% in your control. Yes, you don't give anybody your fund. So if you want to just simply copy the trade, you just go ahead, create a broker account on PO Prime, and then you fund it yourself and you connect straight to the Diamond free of charge without any upfront payment before you connect. So And then for the Nostra AI Diamond, it actually risks about 20% per trade. And it is targeting, 5% profits every day. Yeah, so that is why I said in terms of risk to reward, you can see this is actually a negative risk to reward because we are risking more to gain less. But it's also one of the major things that sets this bot apart because it has a win rate of over 90%. And as such, you could see, you will understand shortly in the next couple of slides why it is able to achieve, very good results even with that amount of risk per trade. And one more thing is even the fact that as an investor, you can actually reach out to us if you want to lower your risk in your own trading. They will guide you on how to do that. But know that the lower your risk, the lower also your return. Right. So, like I said, you can copy this strategy on free on Pay Your Prime Broker, and at end of every week, there is a profit share of 70-30. Yes, so what this simply means is that any profit you make, Nostra AI collects 30%, and then you go home with 70% of the profits for that week. So this is the results for the last quarter. This was from September 2025. As you can see on your screen, from the first day of September to the 30th day of September, Nostra AI bots only had one losing day in the month of September, and that was a loss of what, 18%. Yes, and that was on the 4th of September. So if you see the other days, because of slippage, of course, every day will not be a fixed amount of profits. Yes, so we're targeting 5%. Some days slippage can make us gain more than 5%. Some days slippage can make us, to have more or less than 5%, 4 point something and above, thereabout. So you could see it right on your screen. And as a result of this, it was able to end the month of September 2025 with a whooping 87% profits in total. So if if you're copying us at then and Nostra had to remove their 30%, I think you would go home with roughly about 60-something% thereabouts for the month of September. So we can see a very clean and steady growth here for the month of September, having just only one losing day. And then you see the month of what? October. October was actually the least, performing months so far in the last quarter, as you can see. And that was because we had 4 losing days in October. So it lost 18% on the 7th, 18% again on the 17th, and then 18% on the 22nd, and then 19% on the what? The 27th. And you can see, even with the 4 losses, we have the other days as a win. You understand? That's why I said it has a higher win rate. So if you were to do your win rates, you see that days of winning obviously outweighs the days of what's losing. So that is why it's still able to maintain the 20% profit for the month of October. So you can see, so here is a representation on the chart. So one thing I want to draw to our attention here, no matter when you even copied from, if for instance, if you're copying in the month of October, yes, we say Nostra AI is risking 20% on our copy of our capital, but it hardly even gets to your capital. Let's say, for instance, you started copying on the 1st of October, for instance. Now, you see, we made some profits earlier on, up to 90%, and then before we had the loss. So our capital was not touched. You see, then we made some series of profits again, about 36%, before, another loss again, and then we recovered it, then another loss for the month of October, recovered it, recovered. So you see, during the whole of the losses and all your profit, your capital was not touched, rather. The capital was not touched. So that is a very, very good thing for you to note. So, and then we have the month of November. The month of November had only one trade losing day, and that was at the last day of the month. Oh, what a day. That was almost a flawless victory. Was almost a flawless victory for the month of November. But yeah, so we had just one losing day in the month of November, and that gave us a cumulative profit of 77%. Again, let's try taking 30%, you will end up with roughly 50-70% for the month of what? November. So here we can see the steady growth and the charts, steady growth, steady growth, steady growth, steady growth. So amazing. I can say this is among the top 1% system you can ever use out there. That is why I said seeing this video might just be the only video you need, to turn your finance around in this year, 2026. And then we have December, the month of the flawless victory. Yes. this can actually happen. So December, there was no losing day at all. You can see with this month was 100% win rate, 100% win rate. There was no single losing day at all. And you see, we ended that month with a whooping 112%. Basically, most of that will tell you, during December, we don't trade, low volatility, banks are on holiday, closing trade, people are taking profits. But Nostra AI made the maximum use of the month of December, giving us the highest profit ever seen last year, 112% profits in 1 month. That is mind-blowing, guys. This is mind-blowing. If you don't want to finish watching this video and not get on board this, I can assure you, because in the next couple of months, we look back and you surely regret not getting started as soon as possible when you came across this video. So, and then again, there's even the power of compounding, because if you were compounding, you will see that, let's take, for instance, in the month of September, let's even say you have 50%. After taking, let's try, I took their, their 30%. And then November also, October, let's just say 10%. Yes. And then November, let's say another 50%. So you see, if you started with like $100 or $1,000, your $100 would have become $200 by November. And then your $1,000 would have become $2,000 by November. And then if you apply the rule of compounding, that is, you didn't touch your money, you didn't withdraw any profits, you left the money in your account, automatically it compounds. And you can see what happens now in the month of December. When let's try, I made 112%, automatically your $200 you're having right now, or your 2,000 you're having right now, would have become $400 or $4,000 in 4 months: September, October, November, December. That is mind blowing. This is what you could never see anywhere. This one, we are not talking about a year right now. This was just informal. With the power of compounding, you would have been able to achieve a whooping 300% of your capital in just 4 months. It is mind blowing. Without having to give your money to anyone, without having to say website closing. This is not a Ponzi scheme. It is 100% legit forex corporate business. This is not a Ponzi scheme at all. It's not a Ponzi scheme. So I can assure you this is where you want to be. You can see the very clean charts. Yeah, I call it a clean chart, flawless victory chart of what December has said earlier on. And then we'll have January 2026. Yes. So January 2026, which is already going. Today is actually the 20th of January. The result for yesterday, the 19th, and 20th today have not been added to this chart. Otherwise, this place could have been about 67% right now, because yesterday, being the 19th, we made about 4.2% or 4.4% thereabouts. And then today, well, we've just closed not quite long before I'm making this video with about 5.3%. So if you add those two already, January, it's already 67% profit. The year I've not started, we're already making 67. A lot of persons have never made 1% profits in this year. Can assure you that they've not. But yet, Nostra AI Diamond has already given us a whooping 67% profit already. Who knows? Maybe January could just end up being another flawless victory. You can only know that if you join our WhatsApp group to find out, So you can send me a request for the WhatsApp group link for the person who sent this video, or check the link below. If you are watching directly on YouTube, you will see the WhatsApp group to check and see. Just check. Even if you don't want to do anything, just come and see. Let's check and see if we're able to achieve a flawless victory for the month of January or not. So that is that, by the way. So please, this is where we come. Again, this is the chart of January so far. No loss so far. Like I said, maybe this month will be another flawless victory month for us. So, as we come to the end of this presentation, thank you very much for listening to the end. Like I said, you don't want to miss out on this. You don't want to miss out on this. Stop everything you're doing now. Don't procrastinate. Don't think. Don't think. I can assure you, I've been in this forex space for over 3 years now. And when I came across Nostra Ai Diamond, I was just so happy. Yeah, I was amazed at the way the AI works, and what it has been able to give me so far. And that could actually be you as well. So thank you for listening. Thanks for watching to the end. I look forward to seeing you on the ladder of success, on the Nostra AI train. See you in the next video. Bye for now.